What up, my people? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome. Bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy en Día TV. I am your host and producer, Yessie Rodriguez, bringing onto the stage my amazing co-host, author, entrepreneur, etc., Nadine. Yes. What up, Nadine? ¿Qué pasa?
Hola, hola, beautiful.
Hola. I love the sleek hair look. Ooh, very nice.
Thank you, madam. How are you? How have you been?
I've been good. I've been super good. Based on what's been happening recently, a little like down in spirits, but praying that God removes all this negativity that we're dealing with in our world today. So I know we're going to dive deeper into some of those conversations, especially today being September 11th and in honor of the memory of those lives lost. So
Absolutely. Remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh yeah, really? Oh gosh, I remember it too. I was still in high school when that happened, and it was scary.
Oh my God, yes, you made me feel so old. Oh my God.
You're so funny. Well, the good thing is that you don't look old, which is good.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. I was actually stapled in Naples, Italy. I was still a dental technician back then, and I was working in the hospital. But I was home, and my Italian neighbor came banging on my door. Nadine, tower. I'm like, what? What's going on? TV, turn on television. She was just going on, and I was like, what? I was just flabbergasted, and everybody, we got the call from work, and it was just crazy. And then after that, I volunteered to work security, police force for a year. So I did that after 9/11.
You did? And how was that experience?
Oh, it was awesome. I get to roll with the boys and play with baton and get baton training and all that stuff and go to the gun range. It was fun. But, for the cause, yeah, I enjoyed it. But it was not a great time, despite everything that was going on. Because at the time, my dad, he was still working in Manhattan, and he worked, on those buildings and stuff. So I couldn't get a hold of him for like 3 days.
Oh no, I'm sure that was scary though. Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was.
Ooh-wee. Well, I was still in high school when that happened, and I was in. I want to say I was a math class, and at first, when I heard about it, I thought somebody was just trying to play a prank, because never in a million years would you think that would happen here in the United States, right? Exactly. You hear it happen in other countries, but when it comes to like when it really hits close to home, especially how we know the U.S. to be, it was very surreal, especially being in high school, and you're like, wow, I'm actually living through this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad also living in Brooklyn, which is nearby. And so just so many thoughts that went through my mind, and just praying that he's okay. And our other family and loved ones, I have family in New Jersey. So just thinking about just between Jersey and New York, like praying that everybody's okay. And when hearing that lives were lost, like that's devastating, losing anyone regardless of how close or just in general you are to a person. Just losing a life in general is scary, and it's sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very scary.
Mm-hmm. And so for those who are just tuning in, Nadine and I are recapping about our experience with 9/11, where we were at. Today is the 20th anniversary of when that happened. So on September 11, 2001, nearly 3,000 people were killed when an Al-Qaeda terrorist hijacked 4 airplanes, crashing them into the World Trade Center in New York, the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, and a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, after passengers fought back. September 11, 2021 was a major milestone 2 decades later. So, and let me just clarify, 20 years was from 2021. But today is 9/11, so in memory of 9/11, 2001. So back in 2021, 2 decades later, there was an observed with a memorial ceremony across the country. Now, today we're also just honoring those lives lost, and just sending prayers and thoughts to those who were affected, families who lost loved ones, being 9/11, 2025. And just right. Losing people in general is just, like I said, it's sad. So, yes. And talking about that, yesterday was another sad situation when a gentleman named Charlie Kirk, conservative activist and co-founder of Turning Point USA, was speaking at Beacon Valley University in Orem, Utah, and unfortunately, he was shot and killed. So the event was part of his America Comeback Tour. It included a Prove Me Wrong style debate. Roughly 20 minutes into the event, during a Q&A segment, specifically when asked a question about the number of mass shootings by transgender people, Kirk replied, counting or not counting gang violence. His answer was cut short when he was shot. And from what they're saying, the shot came from a building rooftop some distance away, believed to be a center building on the campus. He was hit in the neck, was taken to the hospital, and unfortunately, he ended up passing from his injuries. So
Wow.
What's really sad, Nadine, is that, we live in this world today where people feel so uptight about having differences. And in my opinion, we can agree to disagree. If you say
Right.
the sky is blue and I say the sky is gray, okay, that's our opinion. No one should be getting shot and killed for having an opinion, right? And
But it's
then
unfortunate.
and then they say, oh, it's the way he's influencing people. But guess what? If these are consenting adults, they're going to hear and process the information the way they want to. So it's like reading a book, right? You can read a book and I can read a book. My interpretation is different from what I'm reading compared to yours. We're making our own interpretations. The same way, when somebody hears someone's opinion, it's up to them to interpret it the way they do. Who's at fault? No one's at fault, because we are entitled to have our own thoughts, our own opinions, our own way of thinking, which is framed from how we were raised, how we grew up, what influenced us, etc. And it's really sad how people are getting killed and dying for having differences of opinion. That's horrible. We need to grow up. America
In
needs
this
to
day
grow up.
and age, people don't have a heart anymore. It's like they're driven by something else, and it's just crazy the world that we're living in right now.
Right.
So that's just unfortunate for that gentleman to lose his life like that. Did they find the shooter? Because I didn't even see that in the news.
And
I didn't.
interesting? What's really interesting is I was spending time in preparation for our show today, doing some journalist research, bringing myself up to date, and I was seeing all these videos, which I'm planning to put a little compilation together. A bunch of people recorded a person on the roof, like they zoomed in and everything. They recorded another two people behind Charlie Kirk. One had a white hat, the other one had a black shirt. One did like this with the hat, the other one did some sort of sign, and all of a sudden, 2 seconds later, he's shot. There's all this evidence out here, and I do not understand for the life of me why this person is still in the wild. And now they have $100,000 bond to find this person, but you have all of this evidence. My gut is telling me that they know who it is.
They know.
They know.
Yeah. Whoever they were making those signal with the hats. Come on now, that's not coincidence.
No, it's not coincidence at all. And I'm going to actually share that video. I'll share it with you all, but I plan to post it on my page as well, just to see like the reaction of people, right? And then on top of it, it's really sad because the reactions I'm getting are, some people are happy that this happened. Some people are sad. I'm part of the sad and devastated because I'm a human, and just losing a loved one in general. Like, I'm thinking about his wife. I'm thinking about his kids. Like, that's sad to lose a parent. These poor kids are not going to grow up without a father because somebody, whoever it was, did this. Like, that's devastating. They don't know.
But they don't care. They don't care until it happens to them. You know what I mean? They don't have a heart. And it's just sad that we have to live in this world with everything that's going on. I mean, come on. And what about security? They didn't scope out the buildings?
Great question, Nadine. And I know when it comes to just the military and just protection, you and Cece are like point on that, because this is what you all did for many years, for over 20 plus years. You know the ins and outs of that. And these are questions, me being the civilian, like, it just doesn't add up. It just doesn't make sense. My gut is telling me this was an inside job. Just because of one, just everything. Common sense is first off, right? Like, a sniper on the roof, come on now. Like, really?
Especially with any big conferences.
Mm-hmm.
Any big conferences they're having, they should have scoped out every single building within a 10-mile radius or more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I want to give a shout out to all those people who have the camera phones, using our camera phones as a tool to help solve any crime, not just what happened yesterday, but in general, because this is what we're going to hold people accountable to say, hey, this is the evidence. This is not somebody making up the story. We see somebody zooming in on one of the videos showing that there's a sniper on the roof. Why was nobody alerted? Or if somebody was alerted, why did nobody act right away? These are questions that are running through my head as a person just listening in. And then being a high profile individual, I agree with you. Where was security? The person in the white and the person in the black shirt, were they supposedly security? I mean, there's just so many questions that I just not adding up.
Right. So here's the thing. When they have those conferences, they shouldn't have these speakers in the vicinity of windows. They need to stop that to eliminate, I mean, needless to say, they might have shooters in the crowd if they don't, check each person correctly. But that could be a situation where they could have saved somebody's life by just taking them out of that vicinity of them, going through the window.
Right. So yeah, it's just devastating overall, and I'm praying that this all gets better soon, and just praying over our world, not just what's happening here in the United States, hitting close to home, but what's happening overseas and all those lives and families and children affected. I pray that God removes and rebukes all evil that's happening, all evil from this world, all evil and negativity from those who are thinking of doing something negative. I rebuke whatever negative thought, whatever evil that somebody listening to this today is thinking of. I rebuke it and I remove it. Exactly. And you have to do the same thing. You have to do that for yourself to just say, hey, I rebuke and you remove that evil and negativity away from you, away from your thoughts.
I always say those words, and anybody that have negative energy coming towards me, I said I rebuke them and send them back to the pit of hell where they came from. Those are my favorite words. Trust me, I rebuke people every day. People I don't know, people I know, people, if they want to bring negativity to me, I rebuke you, send you back to hell. Because at this day and age, I don't have time for drama. I don't have any time to deal with foolishness. I don't have any time for people coming up. We're too grown. I mean, we in a different, come on.
Thank you. Yes. And I'm glad you brought that up, because even when I read, like, sometimes I have a few minutes to like scroll through Facebook and I see, or even IG, and I see posts of like men or women cheating, and I'm like, how old are you? Are you still doing high school crap? Like, cheating is for high school. When you become a certain age, you should know if you want to be with the person or not. It's either yes, you want to be with the person, or no. And if you don't, bye. Like, keep on. Like, we ain't got time to play games and shenanigans and stupidity. Like, come on now. Let's act
right. And here's the thing too. Like, sometimes people probably question, like, what does she have going on in her life? Because I post stuff on my Facebook page all the time, but that doesn't mean it's pertaining to me. I post stuff because I see from Instagram, TikTok, other page, somebody could relate about what I'm posting. Just because I'm posting something, that doesn't mean it's relating to my life or what's going on in my life. I post just to post so I could get that $3.92 from Facebook. Okay.
And get some monetization. That's what I'm talking about right now. Yeah.
Like, I post just the post. Just because I'm posting, don't come in my inbox talk about what's going on with you today. I post just because somebody else could relate to what I'm posting.
Absolutely. And because your monetization is going to grow from $3.92 to many more dollars. We're going to speak it into existence. That's right.
Right. And sometimes people are going through stuff, and sometimes that one post that you post could encourage somebody else, just to motivate, uplift something. It's not like I'm posting on my Facebook page negative things daily. I post motivational stuff. I post quotes. I post Bible scriptures sometimes. Whatever I feel like posting, I post on my page. So don't come over here asking, what am I posting or what's going on with me? That doesn't mean something's going on with me just because I'm posting. And that's the thing with humanity these days. They always thinking, and you see, as they're so drawn to negativity. Why don't you come in my inbox about some of the positivity that I'm posting? But as soon as I post something you claim is negative, you want to come in my inbox. Get out of here.
That part. That part. Yes. 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 And also, they need to understand that not only are you on Oyandia's podcast, you're a co-host. I consider you a journalist, just like I consider myself a journalist. Not only are we talking, but we're also talking about trending topics. We're bringing awareness. We're talking about just different things. So this podcast being a bilingual lifestyle show niched into just journalism in general. We're talking about other topics that we don't see on the news. A lot of these topics that we do bring up in past situations, how often do we hear those in the news? Not often.
Not often.
Because a lot of the news is being censored. And
They
so
are.
going along with what you're saying, I agree with you. Just because you're posting something doesn't mean you're going through that. And that's part of you being one, you're a public figure, right? You're a journalist, you're a podcaster. Like there's just so many hats to you. People just need to grow up. That's it. Just grow up.
Yeah. And most of the time, I get some of my topics or things, like the news you got. Sometimes, you get the notifications on Google. I'm like, because not every time I have time to be turned on the TV watching news. I don't even have cable. I watch apps. I cut my cable off, not with these bills. So, so, I mean, I get the news on the apps that I stream on, but I'm not watching news every day, but a lot of the times you get some of these topics from Google because they just pop up. Topics in your city, what's going on, and, world news. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then talking about news and trending topics. So for those who are not aware, September is awareness for a lot of different health and social observances. So health and wellness, we have Child Cancer Awareness Month, Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, Leukemia and Lymphoma Awareness Month, Blood Cancer Awareness Month, Thyroid Cancer Awareness Month, Sickle Cell Awareness, Atrial Fibrillation Awareness Month, Pain Awareness Month, Sepsis Awareness Month, Healthy Aging Month. Okay. I feel like you and I are healthy aging. National Cholesterol Education Month, National Food Safety Education Month, National Recovery Month, which is pertaining to substance use and mental health recovery, Suicide Prevention Month, or Awareness Month. And then also from a community and social awareness standpoint, National Hispanic Heritage Month, which begins September 15th through October 15th. National Preparedness Month, which is being ready for any type of emergency. And I know in past episodes, you and I and Cece have talked about emergency preparedness. So for those who haven't had the chance to watch those episodes, I recommend that you check those out quickly, because with the way things are going, we just don't know, right? Library card sign up month, which is that's different. Library card sign up month. Okay, I didn't realize that. And then just overall self-improvement month. Also shedding some light on National Hispanic Heritage Month. For those who are in the Garner, NC area, tomorrow I'll be hosting the Festival Latino in Garner, North Carolina from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So I really hope to see you all there. I am the MC of the event. So come on out, enjoy some music, food, just have a good time and catch some good vibes. So yes.
Wait, so you're going to be having your 90s headphones and your spinners going on? I wish if I were there, man.
Well, you know what? It's emceeing, so I'll be the mistress or master of ceremony. So I'm the one who's going to be introducing, talking about what's happening. I'm the one that's talking in between the different acts. So I introduce the acts, just bringing awareness. I bring the mayor of Gardner. He's going to say a few words. So being the MC, that's pretty much what it is making sure that the show is moving forward, and in between I fill in the gaps and entertain the people. So
are you gonna be live?
I'm gonna bring my tripod so I can do like in and out features and live if I can, right? Because since I'll be on the stage, it's a little challenging, like depending on if I can bring support to help me with recording and stuff. So I'll see how I figure it out tomorrow.
What time is it? What time is it?
It's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in Garner, North Carolina.
Oh, I have an overnight shoot tomorrow.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm sure you catch highlights and stuff. There's always, highlights being posted and stuff. But so those in the North Carolina Garner area, come on out and have some fun. Yes. Yes.
And we're missing Cece today.
We are. So shout out to Cece. We do miss her for sure. She's doing great things. She mentioned a second graduation, so I'm gonna have to ask her what that's all about to understand what the second graduation is.
It's actually her. The first one she went to was basically for the undergraduate. This one is the official one in Florida.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. I wonder why they waited like so many months in between.
I have no idea. Maybe there were people that, probably still catching up on their last classes or whatever the case is. I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah,
I'm
well,
glad.
yeah, me too. I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy for her. That's awesome. But she's
Yeah.
definitely here with us in spirit. But you and I are holding the fort down. So hey, that's what teamwork's all about, right?
Yes, and I'm glad I was able to get on my piece of computer since my Mac. I'm getting rid of Apple because I'm sorry, Apple. This is the second MacBook that went out on me. So thank you, Samsung. I'm back on my Chromebook. I will stick to my Chrome.
Team Samsung. I love me some Samsung though. Like me and Samsung I've been training with them for years. I will say I'm proudly saying that I've never in my life owned an Apple phone.
I got rid of my Apple phone with the quickness, okay? Because I love taking pictures, and no matter how many times I upgrade, I think the last time I had an Apple phone was 2011. I remember transferring from Miami to Texas, and I'm like, to heck with this Apple. And I went with my Android, and from then I never turned back because if Apple was so great, every time I go out with my friends, I love you guys. Mwah, mwah. Why are you guys asking me to use my Android to take pictures?
That part right there. Yes.
Right.
It happens to me too. They'll be like, ooh, your phone takes so good pictures. I'm like, it's a photographer. It's a photographer. And the phone, yes, but the photographer too.
Right.
That's awesome. Yes. Well, Nadine, we have a special guest patiently waiting behind the scenes for us. So I don't know. Did you want to do the honors to introduce her? Would you like me to introduce her?
Yes, I can.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I will pass on the baton to you so that you can spotlight our guest so we can bring her on.
All right. So we're going to be introducing you guys to the stage, Miss Sharon Mark-Asante, a proud Grenadian who has called the U.S. home for many years, is a dedicated single mom whose greatest joy and proudest achievement is raising her wonderful son, a recent Howard University graduate who just landed an incredible career opportunity. While her personal and professional journey is filled with achievements, Sharon always says that being a mother has been her most rewarding role. By profession, Sharon is deeply involved in the pharmaceutical industry, where she focuses on cancer research, work that drives her passion and purpose. Her extensive travels exploring countries and cultures all around the world have shaped her worldly perspective and openness to diverse experiences. A true social butterfly, and that she is, Sharon has never met a stranger she couldn't find something to connect with. When she's not working or traveling, you'll find her channeling her creativity through interior design and home renovation projects, or staying active at the gym and on nature walks and hikes. If there's a soca or dancehall music playing, Sharon will be the first one dancing, okay? Known for her positive energy, Sharon balances all aspects of her life with moments of joy, fun, and gratitude, taking life one day at a time. Though some may describe her as a loner, she treasures her village of support and embodies the belief that surrounding yourself with positivity is the key to thriving. So yes, let's welcome this wonderful lady, Miss Sharon Mark-Asante.
Welcome. We're going to bring her on. Yes.
Hello. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Thank you so much. I'm enthused and excited to be here.
Yes, I love it.
Yes. And that energy, she's bringing that energy.
Yes. When Nadine first told me about the opportunity, I'm like, Lord Jesus, what is Nadine trying to get me into? And then I thought about it and I said, no, I have always had a platform I have always been a speaker, but never had the platform. So I embraced it and I said, look, I'll be right there. today with them. So let's get the ball rolling.
I love it. Yes. I'm just
Yes,
curious, how
ma'am.
did you and Nadine meet?
Actually, we met not too long ago by a very special person in both of our lives, Miss Carol Forrester. I have to give that kudos
Yes,
to her.
my bestie.
Yes. And who happens to also be a brand new author. I'm so happy for Carol. So Carol introduced us. We went to see Nadine on the catwalk, and I don't know if it's our spirit, our energy, and we just connected. As grown women of a certain age, a certain status, a certain, socio background, and Caribbean. And we just hit it off. We talk about everything. We talked about, positive vibes, positive things, from cooking to attitudes to, of course, movies and filming, to which Nadine can attest to that. An upcoming actor, or I cannot wait to see you evolve. I really just cannot.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes. And that's the way we met. And I just felt that connectivity with her. See, I know good people when I feel the spirit, because trust me, I've had the bad spirits already. So I know, send them back to sender, go. But maybe he's a keeper. So that's how we met, and we just kept on rolling as if we had known each other like many moons ago. I
love that. That's beautiful. What'd you say,
Yes.
Nadine?
She said toast to that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Yes. I will say this. You mentioned a key word here. You said Caribbean, which is interesting because, my background being Puerto Rican, Caribbean, right? You, Grenadian, right? Grenadian, and then Jamaica with Nadine. It's like, I wonder what is it about our upbringing? I would say the sun, right? The sun and the food and the music. Or what would you say that gives us that positive pizzazz spirit?
You don't want to get me started. So the upbringing, that strict upbringing, that we never knew anything about. When you're 18, you got to go out of the house. That positive spirit, that yes, sir, no, ma'am. Everybody in the village is your auntie by default or your grandpa, and they have the right to whoop you or correct you or reprimand you, whatever nice words you want to say. So it actually took a village with these Caribbean people. I mean, it was so hard for me to understand when I migrated to the US, but then I would not change, I wouldn't even pull a piece of block out of my mold because it wouldn't be Sharon's outcome. So kudos to my Caribbean upbringing. And I embrace the American piece. That's the one that gave me the voice and make me who I am today. And gave me my son, my pride and joy. So in a nutshell, that's the Caribbean way.
I love that. Yes. And I see that you've proudly held on to your roots and while building a life here in the US. So thinking back, what part of your heritage do you carry most proudly in your everyday life?
My flag. My flag. As you can see, I carry it with me wherever I go. If I'm going to a party, I have a bandana on my hand. If I'm traveling, I remember traveling to Dubai, and my big Grenada flag was what I had covered everything in my suitcase. I just love my country. I love the colors. I love the vibrant people. I love everything about it, and I do not shy away from that. Kudos to Grenada.
I remember like a few months ago, I was watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they had that big old party. I mean, I've heard Carol always talking about the Juba or something you guys always have.
Get it right.
When they had it on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I saw and I saw it. I was like, "Whoa, you guys are!" I know we party in Jamaica, but that's like crazy. They were with black tars, and the girls came back in the house with black tar all over their bodies. That was just funny.
And I really have to kind of put that out there. And on a serious note, Grenada happens to be one of the most safest to date Caribbean countries. So, I mean, not for anything, I'm Grenadian, I'm speaking on Grenada, but in the world that we live in now with everything, we really do try to embrace culture, help people, surround ourselves with good vibes, and, you know, have people come down to the island. We just had Carnival. And I heard it was not a Grenada carnival, it was a Caribbean carnival. It was just flags, people, and niceness. I was so sorry that I missed it, but hopefully next year I'll be riding, Nadine and I. And
I'm holding you and Carol to that. Carol been promising me a trip to Grenada, but you know, I'm gonna hold my breath. I hope she's listening. Hello.
Hello. Let me know when y'all go so I can make plans too.
We're gonna drag you down too.
I mean, I've never had the opportunity to travel, and I love traveling, especially to Grenada. So walk me through a day in the life, like a person who's visiting for the first time. What are some of the things that we should eat or see or experience in your opinion?
Right. So we left the airport. Hopefully it's JFK. We're going down. You're kind of thinking, should I? Would I? What? You know, did I make the right, decision? All right, we got there. 4 hours in, we got there. Sometimes, depending on the time of the year, as soon as you disembark, there are women dancing with, rum and food and different, selling different things. So you get that taste. You get that vibes, that feeling right off, literally right off the aircraft. Wow. We have one of the most strict, very strict customs agent, but we embrace foreigners. Once you have good intentions, you're good. If not, you're going back home. We don't play. But once you get there, you have to get the oil down. And the oil down, that may just be for another show, but that's our main dish. So for me, whomever is picking me up, they have to come with a little basket, a little container with oil down and a carry bear.
Okay, so I hope people are watching. When she said oil down, y'all dirty minds don't be thinking about something else. She's talking about food, okay?
Food. I'm talking about Grenada's national dish, oil down. So I would sit on the airport right there underneath that little, gazebo thing there, and I will eat and drink a beer. And any music, I'm dancing. And that's the spirit. And from the word go, you would have that kind of fun until you return. The people, oh my God, everybody is auntie and uncle. And they are so, welcoming. They don't have to know you. You'll get your food. They're going to bring all the different trinkets. They're going to bring the vegetables. They're going to bring fruits. Let me tell you, it's one love. And not forgetting the rum. When I go to Grenada, I'm drunk from the time I get there to the time I'm ready to come back. Kudos to the rum. And it's really just a lot of, sea bath, good people. Nightlife is very, very, it's just extraordinarily beautiful in Grenada, day and night. I mean, it's just a beautiful place to go.
That it sounds like it. I'm excited. Like I'm definitely looking forward to it. And as I'm listening to you, I'm trying to familiarize myself with the oil down. So it looks like it's a type of stew, right? No, it's not. Okay, because I'm looking it up and I'm looking at what it's saying here. Mm-hmm.
It's the oil down is with breadfruit. I don't know if you have breadfruit in. I've been to Puerto Rico like 4 or 5 times, and I thought I saw breadfruit on the tree. I don't know if you call it the same, if the name is the same. But it's a big green. It looks like, Nadine, there's a fruit. It looks like jackfruit.
Yeah, but it's smaller and round. What do you guys call it in Puerto Rico? The breadfruit.
I'm trying to think of how, hold on, because I'm trying to see how it, okay, so you're talking about a pana, so in Puerto Rico, they call it a panapen.
A panapen. Right. Well, we have that kind of pen/breadfruit. And I'm just going to give you just a brief kind of overview of what's in it, because I can't cook all down, and I don't want to say the wrong things. So the ingredients, I know when my mother cooked all down, it's breadfruit, green bananas, coconut. They grate the coconut and they put the coconut milk in there with saffron, and you have all different kinds of meats, pigtails, you have smoked turkey neck, you have whatever you want, wild meat, we call manikou, and tatu. You have salt, whatever you want to put, chicken, fish, whatever. And you put all of that in the pot and you cover it with something we call callaloo, dashing bush. And you cook it down with salt and seasoning and all of that, and you cook it down. And don't hold that against me, because I cannot cook oil down. I can only eat oil down. So that's the best.
It's okay. It's all good. Yeah. I'm here looking at
was close enough.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I like to try different dishes and try to experiment and cook them. So I'm looking at the recipe here, and it does say that the ingredients or the recipe does vary from family to family, but the common ingredients include, like you were saying, the breadfruit, which is the base, the starchy and filling, and then it does include salted meat. So whether, like you said, the pigtail, the beef, or salted fish, sometimes some people add chicken or other meats. The callaloo, as you were saying, callaloo is similar to a spinach, which adds color or flavor. Coconut milk is the key ingredient, with the richness and the flavor. Sometimes turmeric or saffron or even a local seasoning is added for the color and the spice flavor. And then ground provisions such as yams, green bananas, or dasheen is also added, again, based on the family and how they're brought up culturally with this recipe and dish. So that's good. I learned something.
Hungry. You're making me hungry already. Let me have a sip of
No,
water.
you're making me hungry. You're telling us all about this good oil down you guys have.
Absolutely. Yeah, you are making me hungry. I feel like getting a ticket to Grenada right now. Let's go.
Right? Yeah, so that's my base, and from there came all of this greatness and goodness. But I never forgot my people and where I came from.
That is beautiful.
Amazing.
I love that. Absolutely. Nadine, I'm gonna let you ask a question, because I have, me, I have a ton of questions and I want to hog.
Right. So yeah, Sharon. So out of all the countries you've traveled to, which one has impacted you the most, and why?
Oh, good question.
Actually, I have three, and I really want to say something on all three. First of all, Trinidad and Tobago. So I will say that I'm half Trinidadian, because I think my mother's mother is from Trinidad, and I have a lot of roots there too. But I would say Trinidad and Tobago, because that's where we will say, broke away. That's when I got there. It was in my teenage years. I was able to play mass. I was able to party. I was able to go to parties and have, friends and the beach and all of the goodness about Trinidad. So I always say Grenada was on the little low key. I was not that outgoing, at that age. But Trinidad, I broke away. Mm-hmm. So I would always have that love and remembrance about Trinidad, apart from my family, right? But because I still do love to party. Everybody knows Sharon love a good party. So Trinidad is there. Then we're going to move on to Panama. So growing up, I was always a nosy child. I think that's what contributes for me being the woman that I am. And I'm going to say it, a talker and a nosy child. The who's, the what's, the when, how, the why's. You better have the answers for me. And I also love geography. So with that being said, I'm always curious about how things happen, why things happen. And growing up, I would hear my parents talk about Panama and the Panama Canal, which, that was the hot place to be, up and going place to be back in the day when I was growing up. So I had the opportunity to go to Panama. And what really, really captivated me was just to see the dynamics of the water receding and rising, in sync, to have the ships come through And you will see in the horizon lines of ships there. And I'm saying to myself, would all the ships go through in a day? And I believe, don't quote me wrong, I'm not sure if it's like 30 something ships goes through the canal every day. And this thing is so narrow, but it goes like a seesaw, up and down, the water rises. And I was just captivated. It was raining. And I stood in the rain, not even feeling the rain on me. I was just captivated by that. And I think it's a wonder of the world too. And it just blew my mind. And I think I will have to make another trip there. Now that I know what it is, I need to really, go back to kind of see more of it. And also, what captivated me about Panama was the rainforest. Now, we went to this beautiful place. I mean, if that's what you call heaven, well, that's heaven on earth. And all the back of the trees were just like white. And I'm like, why is it like the trees are dying? But I heard the higher the altitude, you will get that kind of rainforest-ish kind of look, and there's a lot of oxygen there. That's what I was told. And I mean, it was just the most incredible sight to see. We up in the hill with these big tour buses. The road is this small, and there was a lot of mangoes. And I love mangoes. So it was just mangoes there, and I'm like, gee, I wish I can just go get some mangoes, but I'm on the tour bus. And that about Panama, it was peaceful where we went. It was gratifying. The people were really nice. And I heard that a lot of people from the U.S. is migrating to Panama now to live. So I think something good is going on down there. It's reasonable. It's safe, certain parts. And, it's just a place to be.
Right.
So that's about the second one. And I think I left the best for last, Dubai.
Ooh, everybody loves Dubai.
Everybody loves Dubai. So when I heard of Dubai, back in the day, it was so funny. You remember the Love Boat? You heard about Acapulco. You heard about Cancun. Then I heard about Dubai. And I'm thinking those places are not real. And oh no, you're too poor. You're too this. You're too that. You may never get there. Well, I got myself into Dubai. It was a very beautiful. It was just, I felt that I was like in New York to a point, because we partied on the river or the sea. We were throwing down in a yacht, partying just like a rock star, like we would in Brooklyn or New York. What fascinated me though was the people. So I thought I was going to be afraid of the natives, because you hear so many horror stories, but I was not. They were about their business. They were not much of a talker, but there were a lot of Americans or Westerners or Africans. A lot of people live in Dubai. So the misconception that I heard about Dubai, everybody needs to go to see. And first of all, the gold, because who knows me, they know I love jewelry. The gold was reasonable to me. So that's kind of what. The spices were beautiful. It's just like I still have spices. I have tea. I have different things from Dubai. And I saw and rode a camel. We had fun in the desert. We had a party down in the desert and all. Deep in the desert, we were partying like a rock star, drinking Hennessy, eating rice and chicken in Dubai. So, yeah, so that was a good experience. Hope Nadine and I may be able to go back next time.
Right. Dubai is a beautiful city. I know when I was stationed on the Kitty Hawk in the Navy, we visited Dubai, and that was in the 90s, and that was old Dubai. So I could imagine what it is. I mean, as a travel agent now, I've booked a lot of clients. I had this one client, I booked her to Dubai like over 5 times. She loved Dubai so much. So the new Dubai now, it's like beautiful, and of course they still have the gold souk there. So
gold souk, yes, and the gold souk.
Yes, they go there for the gold. Yes.
The last thing I will say about Dubai that really captivated me, I think I'm a stickler for cleanliness. I'm just like always cleaning. And Dubai, you can actually pick something off the floor in the mall. I mean, it was so damn clean. A lady walked by and a piece of napkin fell. I could literally see my face on the granite, the tiles, or marble, or whatever it is. I went and I picked it up and put it in the garbage because I couldn't just see this piece of napkin that she didn't throw it on purpose. It just fell. I mean, I really love cleanliness. And that was one of the things that I really, really liked about Dubai.
Awesome.
Yep. So that's my 3 countries, Trinidad, Panama, and Dubai.
That's amazing. Yeah. So do you have any other places on your bucket list that you're missing from traveling that you're looking for?
I would love to go to Bora Bora. And Australia. Yeah. I want to go down under. One day I may just go. Because now that my son is graduated and he's gone, he's out of the house temporarily because it's just the 2 of us. And with kids, they'll go back and forth, right? Now I think I have time and I'm just about getting ready to think about retirement. So with retirement comes travel. Mm-hmm. So I think I have a little bucket list, and once my bills are paid, I'm gone.
There you go.
Right. Amazing. Yes, that's awesome. I have one more question. And I know you in the bio you talked about your cancer, and I'm just gonna touch on it a little bit. So and the only reason why there's a reason why I'm asking this. So what inspired you to pursue cancer research, and how does that passion keep you motivated? And the reason why I'm asking you that, I wish if I'd have known you back in 2014. My dad passed of cancer, so that's why I'm asking you that question.
All right. And I wouldn't delve too deep into the pharmaceutical piece because this needs disclaimer and all of that, and I still do work in the industry. But it was by sheer accident. So it was an unforeseen situation in our lives that I just had to get a job. I just had to get a good job. And back in the day, I had some wonderful friends who, they say we love money and we strive for the best. So we just kept on going where we find the money, And when I got into the industry, I never knew I was going to be there almost 25 years later, I started from grassroots. I started from nothing and I moved up various different pharma companies and different positions. But what really, really captivated me again, as I said, was the fact that when I hear people say, oh, they use us as a guinea pig, a cancer guinea pig, that thing used to tear my heart out, knowing that we're just merely trying to do research. And it's so complex that you have to be in the science to know the science, right? And another thing, I had a lot of people back home in Grenada who were just falling. And I just kind of felt the need to want to help. So I have helped quite a few people already get onto clinical trials, And it's just the love of people. I love people. I just love to help. I love to give. I love to do. And if that's the little piece that I can do, let me just do it. And I think it's just, I love this field so much. Not only it pays my bills and pays my bills very well, but I love helping people, especially when you're sick and you have no one to turn to. It's like do anything that can help someone. And most of the times it's not that person per se. It's just someone else to come and just for the love of science, And it was hard for me in the beginning because I used to take every situation like it was my family. So I would sit there with documents, and when I cut myself, I'm crying, beads of tears running down. So it took me a long time to have to separate emotions from work, and I think, I would never, I don't think I have the bandwidth for another profession. I think I would stay in cancer research and fight on because there's a lot of people who needs to get, into trials and who needs help. And, there's different aspects of the research.
Right.
I think people should just get into the research, Mm-hmm. It's very rewarding, from both sides.
Yeah,
awesome.
And thank you for your dedication to that industry. I know it's definitely industry that affects many people, many lives. Similar to Nadine's situation, my father also unfortunately lost a battle with cancer as well. So,
Sorry to hear.
yeah, it's devastating. And so, based on your experience, very high level, and even using your roots as growing up in the Caribbean, what would be some things that you would recommend people doing that can probably help towards cancer prevention, like day to day, whether it be eating or exercising? Like, do you have any recommendations for that?
Absolutely. Put it out there. Put it out there. Do not hide it. When you hide something as debilitating as cancer, I mean, yes, one way or the other, we may pass, you may die, but sometimes it takes you faster. Put it out there. There's a lot of clinical trials. There's a lot of things, that we can do or can be done. And just tell someone, don't hide it. I know our Caribbean people, we love hiding cancer and the high blood pressure, the sugar, and all of that. Put it out there. And that's the key. I said that in the beginning, and I will say it to the end. You have to seek help. Don't be afraid. Yes, it's scary, but embrace it. It's yours. In the sense of, it's happening to me. I wouldn't hide it. Let me seek help early, sooner rather than later.
Right. Yeah. And thank you for sharing that for sure. And pivoting back to your experience being a single mother, and congrats on your son graduating and doing some amazing things. I know you mentioned him and how motherhood has brought you so much joy. What advice would you give to single parents who are balancing a career, a family, and even their personal dreams?
Mind your business. Study what you're about. Stay focused. Sometimes we think that it's all about us. And when you hear somebody's story, man, you go hide with your problems. Focus on your kids. I'm a kid to my mom. We never asked to be here. And I always tell my son, be grateful, be humble, be honest. Motherhood has taught me so much, the highs and the lows, but I wouldn't trade anything. As I will always say, not all the tea in China I would trade for being a mother to my son. It could be very difficult at times, especially when you're alone. But what worked for me, I stayed focused. I mean, I'm not perfect. Oh my God, nowhere near. But you cannot let anybody take you away from your focus. Once you allow people to do that, as I would say, all fall down. And we know that it's not easy in today's world to raise a son. And that's what I can speak on because I have a son. You have to train him, basically teach him from a mother's perspective and a father's perspective. And I have to say kudos to his dad, who has been in his life from day one. So kudos to him. No name. He knows who he is. And the two of us, though we had our ups and downs, we are proud parents of our children because he has two more children, which my son adores. And I said, stay out of big people's business. And I'm going to bring it down. Because a lot of times we take our kids for our best friend. They're not our best friends. They are our kids, our children. And we have to know where to draw that line. And a lot of times parents don't know where to draw that line. And that's the core of the problems. As for me, I bent that tree since he was small. So all that could have come out of it was good from my end. Now, I don't big up my son too much, because kids can change. But I know I did a hell of a damn good job raising him. We had our highs and we had our lows, and still we're going through it. But now I feel so proud that I've done a good job with him. And so I tell parents, stay focused. And no matter what it is, instill in your children to be something. So I heard someone said, oh no, I'm going to let my child make a decision on his own. Yes. But if you talk greatness from in the womb, what are you going to get? Greatness, right? They say what comes out of a man's mouth is what defiles him. If you talk negativity, that's what you would be. You talk positivity, that's what you're going to be. And I'm so proud of my son. He know mama loves him to the moon and back. And I tell single mothers out there, keep the grind on. Hold them down. They need us in this world, especially.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Nadine, did you have a follow-up question to ask?
No, I asked my questions. Thank you for answering them for me.
Yeah,
that is awesome. Now, I saw in your bio something about information about interior design and renovation. So what sparked that passion? Tell us more about that.
So I've always loved to dress, love to do the makeup, love to change the hair, love to do all of that. And I love experimenting with my own, my car, my home, everything. And for me, I love niceness. And instead of having someone come into my home, even back in New Jersey, because that's where I came from Grenada to Brooklyn to New Jersey to Georgia, right? I would try it myself. I wouldn't go looking and reading and figuring out, I'm going to put it there, twist it around, turn it around. You know, I have a very wild imagination for interior decorating. And as a matter of fact, I really wanted to pursue some kind of, have a business or go deeper or more intense into this designing. But I left that one for close to retirement. At least I have to find something to do. My son is out of the house, right? So I love niceness. I love to put things together. I love changing things. I may be the only woman who still change curtains because my mother used to change curtains 3 times for the year: Easter, Christmas, and some other time, right? But I just love to see different things. You may come to my house now and you see something, and then tomorrow I change it up. I change my table, my dining table decor for every season, for fall, Christmas, Valentine's. I just love to be in my own space for decorating.
It's just so much fun. Yes, I remember growing up like that. We're at home. Mom would change curtains multiple times a year and decorate based on the holiday, especially for Christmas too. So,
and you know what? As you get older, if I may say, as you get older and more seasoned, we sometimes don't have much going on. For me, I'm almost an empty nester already. So why not pass the time and experiment on different things,
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Well, I know we're going to pivot over to our last minute words. It has been a pleasure having you on. You have been such a joy. We've covered different topics, whether it be food, travel, pharmaceutical, being a parent. Like, this has been a juicy conversation. And that's what I always really appreciate Oyendia each and every Thursday, especially having my amazing co-hosts and then having the amazing guests that we have, because you just never know how the topic is going to unfold, especially because that's what Oyendia is about. It's about life.
Right.
La vida. In the different life.
Living la vida loca.
Right. And I keep telling people, like, if they want to be on the show, just hit us up and let us know.
Yeah.
It's just like a girl to girl conversation. We just having a conversation.
I was saying to Nadine, I would love to do it again. I know I have some constraints with work and all of that, but it's fun because now I have a platform to talk. I love to talk. I love to talk to people. I love to encourage. I love to, speak my opinion.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, yeah, if you ever want to be a visiting co-host, absolutely. You could just coordinate with Nadine and say, hey, Sharon wants to be on, and you'll be a visiting co-host. Because as you notice, even when we start the show, like Nadine and I were talking about the trending topics, which is usually how we do.
Whatever is trending.
Nadine and PC, we talk about trending topics, and then those unfold into other conversations. Because with life, with so many different shades of life, whether it be black, blue, brown, red, purple, green, pink, right? That's what life is. That's what Oyendia is. The niche is life. Exactly. Because with life, there's so many layers. Life is not easy. And conversations like this help people put different perspectives, think differently, to say, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Or, oh, wow, yes, I want to go visit, Grenada or wherever. You know what I'm saying? So all these different conversations is what's helpful and important for people to hear different perspectives.
And if I may add quickly, not everybody has that platform to speak. Some people are very introvert. We are extrovert. So sometimes what we may say may help someone else.
Absolutely.
So
Yes, they don't believe me, but I think that I am an introvert because
yeah,
she
right.
forced me to be
Where?
on the.
Thank you, Sharon. I said the same thing. I was like, ma'am, stop. See, this is
Touch
the
my
actress in her.
pearls.
This is her acting.
I know. I know. This is her acting. Yeah, her acting.
Oh, I'm an introvert, right? Okay,
I know.
sure.
Well, if you're introvert, I'm introvert too.
And me
Oh
three.
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Well, we're going to go ahead and pivot over to our last minute words, where this is an opportunity for us to spotlight people, remind people how they can find you, if they want to reach out to you, if you have a quote or anything that you want to say as a last minute words. This is your opportunity. So what I'll do is I'll have Nadine start us off, so that way you can get a feel for what it can be said and done. And then from there, Sharon, you can go second, and I'll go last, and then I'll promote our sponsors as well. So,
Sure.
Nadine, without further ado, spotlight's on you.
Yes, Nadine Barton here, Nadine the author. You could find my books on nadinebarton.com. Or if you'd like to get juicy on the body butters and moisturize, winter is coming, go to www.cabzenzah.com. And you could also find me on Instagram, NADIAB_1202. And that is my handles for Instagram. So like I always say, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react. I've always been using that quote from I've been in the Navy. It was my email signature for a long time after going through some trials and tribulations. So I've always, because sometimes people will push you to be disrespectful, push you so you could fight back, push you so you could get in trouble or whatever. So you have to just take a step back, and before you take a deep breath before you respond, because once you say whatever coming out of your mouth, you can't take it back. So I love that quote by Charles Swindoll: life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% of how you react. And that's my piece for today.
Thank you, Nadine. Well, for me, I am not big yet on social media, but I'm on TikTok because now I'm going to put it out there. 4:45 every morning, I'm at the gym. So I'm a health guru only because I had issues with that I overcame with diabetes. So I stay in the gym, not to get nice and all of that, but to stay well. And I encourage everyone, all the listeners, everyone in the world, I encourage you, know your numbers, know what you're about, know what's going on within you. Yes, we came with nothing, but we all are going to be going with something. And my quote for you is, when you have lemon, you make lemon juice. When you have lime, you make limeade or lime juice, as we will see. Stay positive, stay well, be blessed.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you. I love that. So shout out to all the people who jumped on, left comments, are watching and listening to us. Thank you. Sharon, thank you for being an amazing guest, and Nadine for making this connection. I love it. And like I said, if you want to be a visiting co-host, you are more than welcome. Just coordinate that with Nadine and we can make it happen whenever you're available.
I certainly will, because now I kind of got that little tenseness. It went away, and me tense to talk. I don't think so.
You see, it's just a regular conversation. We're just vibing,
Yes.
Absolutely. You know what I love too, and I'm glad you shared that, Sharon, because it's really interesting, and Nadine can vouch for this. Most of the guests that we have, I would say about 90% of our guests say the same thing, and then when they get on, they love it, and they're like, "Oh, that was fun. I want to do it again." And I'm like, "See, I told you." I told you.
Yeah. And there's so many things that are happening in the world now that there's so many things that we can talk about.
Oh, absolutely. And that is the purpose here of Oyandia, is to positively motivate, inspire, enlighten, educate, and entertain, right? Hey, we're fun and entertaining the viewers and listeners with each and every episode. And the good thing is that not only can people watch us here on Facebook and on Instagram, they can listen to us on Spotify and our Heart Radio, on Pandora, Samsung Music, Amazon Music, RSS, Deezer. Like, there's a bunch of other channels and stations that I didn't mention. We're in a lot of platforms, so people can listen to us too. So whether you're working out or commuting or going for a walk, tune into Oyandia TV, especially past episodes that you have not had a chance to listen to. And I guarantee you're going to be motivated, enlightened, inspired, entertained, and educated with each and every episode. So shout out to those who are supporting the platform, supporting us here. This is what we do it for. We do it for the people, by the people, because we get it. Life is hard. La vida es difícil, no fácil, right? But we're here to shed some light on thinking differently, thinking positively, seeing the glass half full versus half empty. If it is half empty, fill it up with water. Fill it up. How do you do that, right?
Fill it up with wine.
Or with wine, right?
Yes, and I saw some familiar faces too. Watching. Thank you, Cammie, Carol, Ginger, and Mary, for tuning in. All you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys. Love
Absolutely. You guys. And we're gonna give a quick sponsor shout out. So shout out to Nadine, shout out to Cece for being the sponsors and their businesses. We have Inspire for Purpose, Girls with Gigs. We have Nadine's. We have her with Author Travel. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Oyandia TV, Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
From the moment that I put this Cab Zenza on my skin, it feels most amazing. As you can see, it has your skin glistening, it's moisturizing, and it's very, 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 very yummy. You too should get Cab Zenza.
Luxurious body butters.
Sponsored by Collective Wear, available at www.yessierodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
Dream, explore, discover with Nadine's Travel Oasis. Your next adventure is just a booking away. From breathtaking beaches to vibrant cityscapes, we handle the details so you can make the memories. Luxury, leisure, or last-minute getaways, we've got you covered. Book today and let Nadine's Travel Oasis take you places. Are you ready to slay the scene and the runway? Calling all aspiring actors and models, this is your moment to shine. Join our Powerhouse Acting and Modeling Beginners Workshop starting September 8th at 7 p.m. and unlock the confidence, skills, and presence you need to dominate the stage, runway, and the camera. Learn from industry pros, hands-on modeling and acting experience. Build your portfolio and craft, perfect for beginners. Limited spots available. Registration is now open. Sign up at yessierodriguez.com/powerhouse-workshop. We look forward to seeing you there.
All right, and for those who want to be sponsors or a guest on Oyandia TV, the email is scrolling at the bottom of the view, oyandiatv@gmail.com. oyandiatv@gmail.com. We welcome you with open arms because this is a vibe here. Hey, like I said, we are here to positively motivate, inspire, enlighten, educate, and entertain you all, the viewer and listener, with each and every episode. And I know we did it again today because I got the warm and fuzzies like I usually do. Praise God. Yes. All right. And so I want to say another thank you for those who want to find out who I am, Yessie Rodriguez. If y'all don't already know, go on Google, type in Yessie Rodriguez, and it'll pop right up for you. And also, my ending quote, like I always say, the sky is never the limit because the galaxies are endless. Thank you all for tuning into Oyandia TV. Until next time.